This is Chris McDaniels. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown October 11th, 2024 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Now, they are in Greenville, South Carolina tonight, and they kick off the show with Jimmy Uso. So yeah, Jimmy Uso comes out there. He returned at Bad Blood this past Saturday to help out Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes to pick up the victory over the Bloodline this past Saturday at Bad Blood. So Jimmy Uso returns back on Friday Night SmackDown. And then, he tells everybody welcome to SmackDown because he's been waiting to see that, all these months and all that. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there. And then he starts talking about how he got a match against Solo Sikoa tonight and how Solo put him on the shelf for 6 months and that Solo was too scared to confront him in front of his face and all that stuff and had to get him attacked from behind. So yeah, that's what Jimmy Uso was talking about there. And then he was talking about how he returned to help out his cousin Roman Reigns at Bad Blood. But then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns comes out there, and yeah, Roman gets into the ring. He actually tells everybody to acknowledge Jimmy Uso, Big Jim. So yeah, that's what Roman Reigns was telling the fans and all that. And you see Jimmy, he just extends his hand out like he's the tribal chief, and then Roman just looks out and just smacks his hand. So yeah, that's what happened there. It was pretty funny stuff right there. And yeah, Roman was talking about how pretty much that he don't got a lot of things now, and how how him and Jimmy Uso and all them had championships around their waist, had so much money coming in, how everybody feared them and all that, and now it's not like that because of what's been happening. So yeah, that's what Roman Reigns was talking about there. And Roman was talking about how he's not like a wise man, and that he'll make those manipulative, creative plans and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there, and how he's not a lot of stuff. And now that pretty much that, with his will follow and all that stuff taken. So yeah, that's what Roman Reigns was talking about there. And pretty much how he was talking about how they're going to take everything back. And then Jimmy Uso actually asked him how and all that. And Jimmy actually says that he does got somebody else that will help them out, and then all of a sudden the fan starts chanting yeet, and then Roman just tells everybody saying no yeet. So yeah, talking about referring to Jey Uso right there. And Jimmy was talking about how that Cody Rhodes was right, that pretty much Roman Reigns is a chief without a tribe and all that, how he don't got the championship, how he don't got the Udafada and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Jimmy Uso was talking about there. And he was talking about how nobody in the family acknowledges Roman Reigns except for him. And that's what Jimmy Uso says, and then he walks out the ring. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff right there. And it looked like they're building up to Paul Heyman returning soon. So yeah, definitely can't wait for that. But yeah, pretty good stuff right there. Pretty great segment to kick off the show right there. Still to come later on tonight, we're going to be seeing Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships up against Lash Legend and Shakara Jackson later on tonight in a tag team match for the Women's Tag Team titles. My fault. And later on tonight in the main event, it'll be Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa 1-on-1. And up next, we're going to be seeing LA Knight defending his United States Championship up against Carmelo Hayes up next on Friday Night SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the first match of the night. It was the United States Champion LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes 1-on-1 for the United States Championship. So yeah, we get to this match. In this match, it was a pretty good one. Both of these guys are beating the hell out of each other during this match. But then, at one point, we actually see Melo actually distracted, and come to find out it was Andrade. He comes up to watch the match. He grabs a chair and sits on the chair watching this match. He don't interfere in this match or nothing like that. He's just watching this match. And yeah, LA Knight and Melo was going at it back and forth and everything, coming up near falls a lot of times in this match. At one point, Knight jumps up the top turnbuckle with a nice elbow drop onto Melo. He only got a 2 count out of that. And then at one point, he was setting up for the BFT. So when he tries to hit the BFT onto Mello, Mello reverses it by doing like a quick handstand type move, getting out of the BFT, and then he hits an axe kick to the back of the head onto LA Knight, picks him up, and then he hits like a lift up cutter onto Knight. He pins him 1, 2. Knight barely kicked out at 2. So yeah, it was just going back and forth. Well, then Mello climbs up the top turnbuckle and he tries to hit nothing but net onto Knight. Knight moves out of the way. Mello lands on his feet. Well, Knight tries to hit the BFT once again onto Mello, but Mello pushes Knight away, and Mello bounces off the ropes and stuff. At one point, Knight grabs him, tries to hit like a back suplex onto him. Mello lands onto his feet, but then as soon as Mello lands on his feet, LA Knight hits him with the BFT, and then he pins Mello for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, LA Knight defeated Carmelo Hayes tonight in a one-on-one match, and he has retained his United States Championship. That's what happened. Pretty good match. But then after the match ended, Andrade walks up to Mello outside of the ring, and he says, "Put the fries in the bag," and then he walks off. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, for that match, I'll give it 4 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a great match to kick off the show. So yeah, that's why I'll give that. But then after that, we see the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Cody Rhodes, backstage. And then Jimmy Uso comes up and, Cody was thanking Jimmy for helping him out and stuff at Bad Blood. And Jimmy was like, "Look, it was just a favor for one time," and all that. And then Cody was like, "Well, I heard you're taking on Solo tonight. Just know he's not the same man as he was 6 months ago." And then Jimmy was like, "Yeah, I know, but I'm going to still take care of him because it's family business." So yeah, that's what Jimmy Uso says. And then after that, we see like a promo package of Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson talking about the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, where they was talking about how they're going to win the tag team titles tonight on SmackDown. But yeah, up next, that match is up next. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson up next in a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Till then. Well, yeah, we get to the next segment of the night where we were supposed to get to the match, but I guess that match is going to be happening after this part because we got some stuff to talk about. So yeah, we see Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson walking out there because, they got their women's tag team title match against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. So yeah, they make their entrance, but then all of a sudden we see Kevin Owens. He comes through the crowd, he gets into the ring, and he grabs a microphone, and then he starts talking about, like, trying to explain why he attacked Cody Rhodes. But then all of a sudden his mic gets turned off, and then we see a bunch of security guards come running down, and then Kevin Owens is like, "Nah, nah, nah, nah," and then he gets out of the ring, and then he grabs Corey Graves' headset, and then he starts trying to talk through there. But then all of a sudden we see the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Cody Rhodes come walking out there, and then a bunch of security guards try to hold him back as well. Well, then Orton comes out there to try to get Cody to cool down. Then Orton gets into the ring, getting Kevin Owens, trying to hold him back. And then Kevin Owens elbows Randy in the face. Randy gets pissed off. He turns Kevin around. He punches him right in the head, right in the face as well, knocking Kevin Owens down. Kevin couldn't believe it, and then Kevin rolls out the ring and starts walking through the crowd and stuff. And yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty great segment though. I really liked it. But yeah, this is going to be some really good stuff because maybe Orton's the manipulator in this one, it seems like. But yeah, definitely can't wait to see more of it. But yeah, up next it will be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships up against Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. Up next on SmackDown, still to come later on today in the main event, it will be Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa one-on-one as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the next match of the night. It was the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson, metaphor in a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And yeah, we see Chelsea Green and Piper Niven sitting at ringside for this match because of what happened a few moments ago. I guess this happened during the commercial break where we see Chelsea Green and Piper Niven walk up to Bianca and Jade backstage, talking about, like, why does everybody else get a women's tag team title match except for them? And then they was telling Chelsea that she stinks because of what happened last week. But then she says, well, how about you just watch our work tonight? And that's what they said. So that's why Chelsea Green and Piper Niven's at ringside for this match. And I've been seeing like a lot of people complaining about the amount of time that these women got because it was like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever. Like, look at this, okay? Bianca is a main eventer, right? Jade is getting pushed to that position as well. She's still green as hell in the ring, but getting pushed in that way. Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson are NXT mid-carders. So, why y'all complaining, really? I mean, I understand, but in a way, storytelling, Bianca and Jade obviously should beat Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. I'm just saying. And it doesn't matter if it was 10 minutes or 3 minutes. Like, it shouldn't matter at all. At least it got a spot on SmackDown to show what it was capable of. And it was still a pretty good match for it to be 3 minutes. And it showed how much Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson can do in those 3 minutes. So they did pretty damn well, in my opinion. But I don't get why everybody complains about it. Speaking about what I mean by that is when the match started, we see Lash and Jakar taking advantage as soon as the bell rings, knocking Bianca down, knocking Jade Cargill out of the ring, and they was beating the hell out of Bianca for majority of the match, like dead-ass majority of the match. And they actually hit their like tag team finish move where Lash Legend picks up Bianca like in a wheelbarrow position, and then Jakar Jackson hits like a cutter onto her. They pin her, but the pin got broken up at the counter too because of Jade. Well, Jade comes in there beating them down and all that stuff. Bianca comes back a little bit. At one point, they get outside of the ring, and Jade hits a big boot onto, well, actually, it was Lash Legend that actually hits the big boot onto Chelsea Green, knocking her across the announce table at one point because he was taking control of this match still. And then Jade gets in there, and she was the one tagged in. She starts beating down Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend, knocking Lash off the ring apron, hitting a big boot onto Jakara, and then they hit their tag team finish move onto Jakara Jackson, pinning her for the 3 count. So yeah, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeated Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson tonight in a tag team match to retain their WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. Still a pretty good match within those 3 minutes. I don't get why people are complaining in the first place because, you know, they got a match on SmackDown, and, you know, like I said, Bianca and those main eventers, and Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson as mid-carders on NXT. So, make it make sense, you know. But yeah, people are just complaining too damn much. They complain about anything and everything. Like, come on now. And then, like, just be serious. But yeah, pretty good one for the little bit of time they had. I'll give that 2 stars. That's what I'll give it. Still good stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on SmackDown. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, there is a lot of stuff that we gotta talk about. So before we talk about the next match of the night, we're gonna talk about a few segments that happened before this, and then the match, and then a couple of segments that happened after the match. So yeah, let's go ahead and get down to it. So we actually see Cody Rhodes still pissed off about the Kevin Owens stuff, and Nick Aldis and Randy Orton tried to calm him down, and Randy Orton was like, "Look, Cody, you go back into your bus and you leave and all that." And he says that he'll handle Kevin Owens and stuff and talk to him tonight. So yeah, that's what Randy Orton was saying to Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes finally listened. He got into his bus, and then Nick Aldis looks at Randy. He says, "Look at you, Randy. I can't believe the type of person you became now, and you know, actually becoming a good person," stuff like that. So yeah, that's what Nick Aldis tells Randy Orton. Yeah, I think Orton is playing mind games. But yeah, then after that we get to the next segment, which leads into a match. So yeah, we'll get to the WWE Women's Champion, Nia Jackson. She comes out there with Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, and Nia Jackson starts talking about how she beat Bayley this past Saturday at Bad Blood and all that. And she said that Bayley was pushing her a little bit, but she says that she had annihilated Bayley, and how she's been annihilating everybody that's been coming through in her way and all that. and she's been making the path and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Nia Jax was talking about. And Nia was talking about how she can beat anybody, just like Bayley. She can beat anybody in the women's locker room on SmackDown. And she says that she'll beat Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel as well. So yeah, that's what Nia Jax was talking about there. And then she looks at Tiffany Stratton, and then she says after she beats Liv Morgan, she says that Tiffany is going to be the one cashing in her Money in the Bank contract on Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel. And had Tiffany like in the pretty much like close up to her. So yeah, that's what Nia Jax was saying there. And then Naomi comes out there, and Naomi pretty much was talking about how she was the one that actually pinned Nia Jax a few weeks ago, and she says that she can do it again and all that. And Nia Jax was like, well, you know what, fine. If you want to, we can have this match right now. So yeah, then it was going to set up a match, and Nia Jax tells tells Nick Aldis to bring out a ref, and the ref comes running down. Well, then all of a sudden, the WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan comes out there with Dominic Mysterio and Raquel Rodriguez, the Judgment Day. They come out there, and Liv was talking about how she is going to be sitting at ringside to watch this match go down. So yeah, that's what she was saying there. So yeah, we get to the match. Nia Jax with Tiffany Stratton at ringside versus Naomi one-on-one with the Judgment Day watching this match from ringside. So yeah, this match, it was a pretty good one. It was going back and forth and everything. At one point, Naomi jumps off the top turnbuckle with a nice crossbody onto Nia, pinning her, but Nia barely kicked out at 2. And then at one point, they go outside the ring, and then Nia Jax was inside the ring, so they had the referees checking on Nia. Naomi's outside the ring, and Tiffany comes up kicking her in the stomach and tries to hit her in the back with the Money in the Bank briefcase, up until Raquel takes the Money in the Bank briefcase out of Tiffany's hands. And then, Tiffany was wanting it back, and then Tiffany Stratton got knocked down by Raquel. Well, by Naomi, actually. Naomi kicked her upside the head. And then Naomi climbs up the top turnbuckle, but then she gets pulled off the top turnbuckle by Nia Jax, and then Nia Jax was about to hit the Annihilator onto Naomi up until Raquel gets on the ring apron distracting the ref, and then we see Liv Morgan come up onto the ring apron with the Money in the Bank briefcase, hitting Nia Jax in the side of the ribs and stuff, and then that's when Naomi takes advantage, power bombing Nia Jax, stacking her up for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Naomi defeated Nia Jax tonight in a one-on-one match. So yeah, pretty great match. But then after the match ended, Nia Jax was pissed off and everything, and then Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Dominic Mysterio was walking up the stage. Well, then all of a sudden, Rhea Ripley comes running out there, theme song playing and all, starts brawling with Raquel, and then she knocks Raquel down, and then she was heading up towards Liv. Liv quickly got into the ring up until she got face to face with Nia. Nia grabs her. Rhea gets into the ring, hitting a big boot onto Nia, knocking her down, then takes down Liv and starts beating her down up until Dominic gets on the ring apron, which distracts Rhea, and then Liv had enough time to roll out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty great stuff though. But yeah, for that match, what happened after the match and all that stuff, I'll give it all 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It's good stuff. But then, after all that happened, we see Carmelo Hayes talking to Nick Aldis backstage, wanting another United States Championship match, and he says that Andrade cost him in the match and all that. And then Nick Aldis was like, look, you lost out there, and he says that the only way you're going to get that United States Championship opportunity because you got your title with Andrade 3-3, so how about y'all have a match? And if you beat him, you get that title match. So yeah, that's what Nick Aldis tells Carmelo Hayes, and Melo was not happy about that. He walks off. Well, then all of a sudden, we see Santos Escobar come up with Legado de Fantasma right there next to him, and Santos was talking about how Nick Aldis is giving, he sees that thing going on with Nick Aldis giving Melo and Andrade title matches and all that, and then he was telling Santos, well, if you would have get a title match, but you had your title match a few weeks ago and you lost it, and I haven't seen you improve since then. So yeah, that's what Nick Aldis was telling Santos. And then Santos was like, I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about Elektra, and I'm talking about Los Garza and all that. And yeah, that's what he was talking about there. And then he says that, you know what, next week on SmackDown, Los Garza will have a tag team match. And if they can win that tag team match, then they get a tag team title match. So yeah, that's what he was saying there. And they was happy about that. And then, after that, we see Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa talking about how he got the match against Jimmy Uso tonight, and he says that he's going to beat Jimmy Uso, and Jimmy Uso is going to acknowledge him tonight. So yeah, that's what Solo was saying there. And then after that, we seen like the vignette once again. Well, apparently next week on SmackDown, we're going to see a tag team debuting next week, possibly Motor City Machine Guns. But yeah, that's next week. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the main event. But before we talk about the main event, we gotta talk about a couple of segments happened before the main event, actually. So yeah, we see Nick Aldis trying, break everything apart because of Street Profits, and DIY is arguing about the tag team title match and all that stuff. And then we see Nick Aldis talking about how he gets a new tag team coming up next week and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there. But then all of a sudden, people was calling Nick Aldis over, and Nick Aldis comes running through, and then all of a sudden we see Kevin Owens attacking Randy Orton in the parking lot, beating him down and all that. Nick Aldis got a bunch of security guards to pull Kevin Owens off of Orton. So yeah, that's what happened there. And yeah, then we get to the main event. It was Solo Sikoa with Jacob Fatu and the WWE Tag Team Champions, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Bloodline versus Jimmy Uso one-on-one. So yeah, Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy Uso one-on-one. We get to this match, and this match, it was a good one. Solo was beating down Jimmy most of the time in this match, hitting spinning solo onto him, only getting a 2 count. Jimmy starts coming back a little bit in this match. He at one point jumps up with a jumping super kick to the face onto Solo, and then he hits a nice Samoan drop onto Solo. He pins him 1, 2, Solo barely kicks out a 2, and then we see Tama Tonga getting up on the ring apron. Well, actually, Jacob Fatu and Tonga Loa gets on the apron, and Jimmy Uso knocked both of them off of it. Tama Tonga gets on the apron as well, and Jimmy was trying to knock him off, but he quickly jumped down. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy climbs at the top turnbuckle, about to hit the Uso splash onto Solo. Tama Tonga gets back up on the ring apron, distracting the ref. Jacob Fatu sweeps up Jimmy Uso's legs from the top turnbuckle, and then all of a sudden Solo pulls Jimmy off the top turnbuckle, and then he hits the Samoan spike onto Jimmy, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Solo Sikoa defeated Jimmy Uso tonight in a one-on-one match, but then after the match ended, the Bloodline starts beating down Jimmy Uso after the match. Well, then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns comes out there making the save. Jacob Fatu gets out of the ring and he starts running up the ramp, but then he gets hit with the Superman punch by Roman. Roman gets into the ring, throwing Tama Tonga over the top rope. He hits the Superman punch on the Tonga Loa inside the ring. Tama Tonga gets back into the ring. He gets hit with the Superman punch as well. And it looked like Roman and Solo's about to go at it up until Jacob Fatu gets back in there, going at it with Roman, beating him down and all that, hitting the hip attack onto him in the corner. And the Bloodline's beating down Roman, and then we see Jimmy Uso get in there, going at it with Jacob Fatu, but Jacob hits a super kick onto Jimmy, knocking him out. And then we see Solo Sikoa hitting the Samoan spike onto Jimmy Uso, laying him out. Onto Roman Reigns, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened there in the Bloodline standing tall. And then we see Jimmy Uso try to talk to Roman while they're laid out and stuff, telling him that we need him. So yeah, that's what Jimmy Uso was saying there. But yeah, pretty good SmackDown for the match, what happened after the match and all that in the main event. I'll give it all 3.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. For match of the night, I gotta say it was LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes. That match was really good. So yeah, I will say that was match of the night right there. But yeah, tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, it was good. I'll give it 9 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a good episode. But yeah, that has been my Friday Night SmackDown reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. So I'll be down there in the description box. And I will see you guys later for this Monday's Monday Night Raw reviews. And I'll probably be talking about AEW's pay-per-view tomorrow night. So yeah, look out for that. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then.